Hello, guys, my fellow survivors. This is Windows and Waves. I'm Angela. Uh, this is a channel for benzodiazepine conversations, questions, and just day to day survival. Um, if you're on here, we know what you're going through. Today, I want to talk about kindling. I had no idea what kindling was until I started reading what was on the Facebook pages that everybody is on. I really recommend, if you're not on those, to get on. People are so supportive because they know exactly what's going on with you. So I just wanted to read something that was copied and pasted onto a question. I asked, "What is kindling?" And if anybody had kindled. I got quite a number of responses saying that they had. Some people explained their stories. Um, I did it without knowing, and it explains the severity of my withdrawal. But kindling, due to a substance withdrawal, refers to the neurological condition which results from repeated withdrawal episodes from a sedative. Hypnotic drugs such as alcohol and benzodiazepines. Each withdrawal leads to more severe withdrawal symptoms than in previous episodes. Individuals who have more withdrawal episodes are at an increased risk of very severe withdrawal syndromes. Excuse me, symptoms. Up to and including seizures and death. Long term use of GABA acting sedative hypnotic drugs causes chronic GABA receptor downregulation as well as glutamate overactivity, which leads to drug and neurotransmitter sensations, central nervous system hyperexcitability, and exotoxicity. Um, Lots of big words, which, is great. But what I got out of that is, if you are on, say you're on Xanax and you are at 3 milligrams twice a day and you manage to taper yourself down to 1.75, which is a feat, and then something happens. For instance, one person had really horrible pain associated with some surgery, and she wasn't getting any relief from the pain relievers, the opiates and such. So she went back up on her benzo. It helped her sleep. In that situation, I do understand when you're in that much pain, it's easy to make a decision to say, fix it now and I'll deal with it later. I've definitely been there. But once you do that, when you finally do start to taper or when you finally do go cold turkey, it's horrible. I had gone cold turkey at one point, kind of on my own. I'm not sure why. And it was horrible. I felt horrible. I was having little, I don't know if they were seizures or what, but it was awful. Ironically, I was so sick I wanted to come home to my then husband, because he's the only person that knows me so well. That's another long story. Anyway, uh, we so I did this and I kind of got through it a little, and then I started having crazy anxiety again. So I started taking my Klonopin again. And then Ativan got piled on that for only 7 days. And I was having withdrawal symptoms on top of the just ill behavior the Klonopin created. It was scary, and it led to a couple rage issues. We'll talk about rage on a different episode. Um, and I think that's why when I first went cold turkey, I was miserable. It was horrible. It didn't help that I was sitting in an institution with people who were legitimately insane. Um, I never want to do that again. Um, and they only gave me hydroxyzine, which is Benadryl. Um, but I think my symptoms sort of diminished. Granted, I was with somebody who scared me so much that I probably just ignored everything to make sure that everything was where it needed to be so I wouldn't get in trouble. But I, at about a year off the cold turkey, I got really horrible symptoms. I hurt all over all the time. It hurt to brush my hair. The twitching was constant. The shaking came on and off. All I wanted to do was sleep. I didn't have the momentum to cook, clean, or be on the phone, I mean, the symptoms just came on hard and fast. And now that I have learned more about kindling, I think that is why. So if you're currently tapering, good for you. Get yourself off. It's hard. Please continue. If you feel like you're not going to be able to handle it, talk to somebody. Get on Facebook. Find one of those benzodiazepine support groups. Don't let yourself be alone in this. And don't go back on something because you're so uncomfortable. It's not worth going back on the Xanax. It's not worth going back on the Valium. It's not worth going back to that place. There's a reason why you're tapering. Remember that. Do not kindle. It's horrible. On a lighter note, like my page as well as like my episodes. It'd be great. And also subscribe, please. The more you subscribe, the more my voice gets out there, the more our voice gets out there. So if you can just keep pushing subscribe and tell your friends who are going through this about it, because I think anything will help. And give me suggestions on topics. I have a lot of topics, but give me more. I love it. And I love comments. So comment, please. And I will see you next time. This is Angela.